But don't then, in essence, this is the way I look at it, don't then now use that against the player that actually taught you the game or that you learned from. Yeah. And that's why I have a tough time. And, look, I would love to have played against LeBron and, Kobe in my prime. I would love to have played, against those guys. But we'll never be able to know that. Part of the marketing, part of the hype, part of the things that tries to elevate one generation above the other.
Michael Jordan has stayed silent for years. But according to reports that started circulating in early 2026, that silence may have finally shattered, and what he allegedly said about LeBron James reportedly left everyone in the room stunned. Somehow, one of the biggest stories in basketball barely made a ripple across the mainstream media. So what exactly happened, and why did almost nobody want to talk about it? For more than a decade, Jordan refused to fuel the GOAT debate. While ESPN argued about it every day, podcasts went to war over it, social media exploded, and fans battled nonstop, he rarely stepped into the fire. He let 6 championships, MVPs, and 1 legendary career do all the talking. But then, something changed. And if the reports are true, it changed in a way nobody saw coming. Some believe LeBron James, intentionally or not, crossed a line Jordan had quietly refused to let anyone touch for years. Others think this had been building behind the scenes for much longer than anyone realized. Either way, when Jordan finally responded, the theory goes that he didn't send messages through reporters. He didn't rely on anonymous insiders. He allegedly addressed it himself. Directly. No filter. No hesitation. And people who reportedly witnessed the moment still can't stop talking about how intense it really was. So what pushed the most competitive player in NBA history to finally break his silence? Why did this situation reportedly hit so personally after years of saying nothing? And could this be the moment that completely changes how fans look at the Jordan-LeBron rivalry forever? Because once you hear everything that reportedly led up to this confrontation, the entire GOAT debate may start looking very different.
The whole GOAT term is never going to be something that I ever will get high or low about, It just doesn't exist with me. I never played against Oscar Roberts or Jerry West. Would have loved to. Absolutely love to. Just as competitive as I am. And I actually learned from them, and we, paved the road to the Kobe's and the LeBrons, right? And to me, it's the beauty of the game of basketball that a player after.
Now, if you really want to understand why this story allegedly reached a breaking point, you have to go back to where it all started. Because without the history, none of what happened next makes sense. And once you see the full timeline, you'll understand why so many people believe this wasn't just another chapter in the GOAT debate, it was something much bigger. Michael Jordan has always played by a different set of rules. He doesn't spend his time firing off posts online. He isn't known for trading public shots or chasing headlines through interviews. That's never been his style. So when the GOAT debate exploded in the early 2000s and LeBron James became the face of the conversation, plenty of fans expected Jordan's legendary competitive fire to erupt. Instead, nothing. He stayed silent. Calm. Calculated. Almost unsettlingly calm. And that silence only made the mystery even bigger. For years, many people respected that approach. It gave the impression of someone who believed his resume spoke louder than any argument ever could. Jordan never needed to remind people who he was. His message seemed obvious without saying a single word: "You know what I've accomplished. The rest is your decision." But behind that silence, another question kept growing. Was he truly ignoring the noise, or was he simply choosing the perfect moment to respond? According to people who have spoken about Jordan over the years, he wasn't disconnected from the conversation at all. Reports suggest he paid attention to everything: the interviews, the non-stop television debates, the social media arguments, and every analyst who argued that LeBron deserved the top spot over him. He allegedly saw it all. The difference was that he refused to react publicly. That wasn't a lack of competitiveness. If anything, some believe it showed extraordinary restraint. Because beneath the quiet exterior, Jordan's mentality reportedly never changed. The relentless competitor who dominated the NBA didn't disappear, he simply became far more selective about when, or if, he showed that side of himself. Which is exactly why the events that reportedly unfolded in 2026 caught so many people off guard. If Jordan truly chose to break years of public silence, many believe it wasn't because of one random comment. Something had reportedly crossed a line. And that's what made this moment feel so different. For someone who spent years letting everyone else argue about his legacy, finally stepping into the conversation carried enormous weight. According to the story that's been circulating, there was no carefully crafted PR response. No anonymous leaks. No polished sound bites. If the reports are accurate, Jordan's words landed with force, and those who reportedly witnessed the moment immediately realized this was anything but normal Michael Jordan behavior. The real question is, what pushed him to that point?
Because I want to make sure that I got you accurately about the blasphemy I think you're spewing. Are you trying to say that at some point in time that a guy that's lost six championships now, as great as he is, Mount Rushmore, a guy that lost six championships has an opportunity in his career to eclipse Michael Jordan? Is that what you're saying?
Not for me, but I do think the case will...
At the end of the day, this story goes far beyond rings, MVPs, or stat sheets. According to reports that surfaced throughout 2026, Michael Jordan reportedly reached a point where years of staying silent were no longer enough. Meanwhile, LeBron James continued defining his own legacy after spending decades being measured against Jordan at every turn. Whether his comments were meant as confidence or interpreted as disrespect depends entirely on who you ask. But one thing is clear, if the reports are accurate, what began as another GOAT debate reportedly turned into something much more personal. Jordan spent years letting the basketball world argue while he stayed in the background. LeBron spent years carrying the impossible burden of being compared to the player many still call the greatest ever. Somewhere along the way, those two stories allegedly collided. Reports claim Jordan's message was simple but powerful: you crossed the line. Whether those words were justified or not, they immediately became one of the most talked about parts of the story. Now the biggest questions remain unanswered. Will more details from those alleged private conversations eventually become public? Will Jordan ever directly address the situation himself? Will LeBron respond if the speculation continues to grow? Right now, nobody truly knows. But if there's one thing this entire situation proved, it's that the GOAT debate is no longer just about championships, finals records, scoring titles, or different eras of basketball. It's about respect, pride, legacy. And when two legends become part of the same story in such a personal way, basketball fans never stop talking about it. Maybe that's the real reason this story has captured so much attention. Not because it supposedly settles the GOAT debate, it doesn't. But because it reminds everyone that even the biggest icons in sports are still human. Behind every championship, every record, and every legendary moment are two competitors determined to protect the legacy they spent a lifetime building. And that's exactly why this conversation isn't ending anytime soon. Now it's your turn. If the reports are true, was Michael Jordan right to finally break his silence after all these years? Or do you think LeBron James was simply speaking confidently about his own legacy and Jordan took it too personally? Drop your opinion in the comments. I want to see where the Hoop Dose community stands because this debate is only getting louder. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to Hoop Dose, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest NBA stories, controversies, and behind-the-scenes drama. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.